I know that our state, our town, well, our mayor and everything says that they don't have the money to pay to repair to repair it. So it's only a matter of time. And it has flooded before. Back in the 1920s, this whole area was completely underwater. Like, I mean, completely underwater. The river was out of its banks and it was underwater completely. I mean, even where my apartment complex sits right now, it was completely underwater. So, what happens when somebody's altering or messing with the rain or cloud seeding or whatever they want to use, and then it causes too much rain, and then the rivers burst right through that damn levee. My whole daggum apartment complex will be underwater again. And I mean, and we will be, so I mean, who gets to decide what towns should go and which ones shouldn't go,
Well,
I
yeah,
mean, and I think that that's the question people need to start asking themselves, I mean, is your town less important than another town?
well, and it also looks or appears as though it may have even been predetermined based off of that land use map that we had located by what was it, the
Mm-hmm.
National Wildlife
Mm-hmm.
and Forestry, and how by 2030 we looked at your town specifically and Tampa Bay, and the map shows it in colors, where it's going to be changed from high use traffic areas, no use traffic areas, and then where areas are going to be just completely blocked off to be preserved.
Mm-hmm.
So that sort of looks like they are going to be exploiting either they have some very, very good technology to predict exactly how these storms are going to hit, when, where, if, how, and all of that, or they're actually going to use the technology that they have to exploit that to their benefit and use it to mine the resources that are in those areas, which it does look like that could be what is happening. Now, I did look up for an alternative theory for that. I did look up an alternative theory, which could be that these are cyclical events that have happened during prior cataclysms. And when those mass extinction events occurred, like flash flooding or hurricanes or tsunamis or mass freezing, anything like that could have caused a mass die off, which could have contributed to the geological formation of those resources over a millennia, which could be why they are there in the first place, and therefore why the cataclysms are again choosing to target those areas for the destructive forces that we're
Mm-hmm.
seeing. Now, that's just an alternative theory that you could consider. It
Mm-hmm.
does kind of go in alignment with what Alatra believes, but also having that map to show us which particular areas aren't even going to be used by humans anymore after 2030 and especially into 2050. That does make you
Right.
wonder if certain areas are going to be targeted, or they already know they're going to be wiped out, and the rest of us are just being left in the dark. And we could be sitting
Yeah.
ducks in those areas on that map where it's just a ticking time bomb and we don't even know,
True.
just like
That's
you're
very
saying with
true.
your town, because your town even said it was going to be redesignated as a throughway. So a way to get
Yeah.
from one populated area to another populated area. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Which then
And if that's the case, that makes you wonder. Then okay, so then
what
where's all
happens
the
to you.
people going to go?
Right.
What happens to all the people? I mean,
Mm-hmm.
is it going to be a big tornado that wipes my town off the map, or is it going to be the river flooding the place? But I mean, it's obviously going to be something. If not, why would they put it there? And this was on what was the U.S. Geological survey.
Survey, I think it was. Yeah.
Wasn't that was yeah? And that was like what that was the plan for, like, wasn't that their whole thing? What year was it to be done by?
The map of the use area is
Yeah,
2030, I believe, is when
yeah.
they plan to have, so we have like 5 years. Basically, 2024 is
We'll
over
see.
now.
Yeah.
So, and we enter this cycle fully at the end of this year,
Mm-hmm.
where the direct power of it is just going to be in magnificent in a terrifying way, probably. But they could absolutely use the tools and technologies that they've been building since the 1950s to exploit what is coming to their own benefit, and then just not telling any of us about it.
Yeah. And see, and I think that's our whole point with the reason why we wanted to do this show, today, was because whether or not weather modification is being used